dun, dun, dun. Are y'all ready for some Star Wars talk? Yes, you are. Suze, what are you doing? Suze is gonna be in the Real World Sims Season 2. Amazing. You're gonna be with Vanished, who's also already on there, because I grandfathered him in after not finishing his house, because it took a long time. So, so it's you and Vanished. You and Vanished so far. So that's fun. I will get with you about your sim. You have time because we still have to build the house and things. But yay, Suze is going to be in the real world. Get ready for some shenanigans. All right, so this is the long-awaited Star Wars Brunch show. I have some very special guests who are friends and colleagues in real life. So this should be a lot of fun. We just kind of talk about this anyway all the time, so we just decided to hop on a brunch show and start talking about Star Wars because the three of us have very differing opinions about it. So without further ado, I'm going to let them on here. Hello?
Hello?
Hello! These are Colorado Kara and Palpa Queen. Say hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello, ladies.
We are going to talk all things Star Wars, like I said, and I was just telling them that we already sort of get on these tangents at work during work time. So we're just like, let's just get on and discuss it as a collective group when we're not, supposed to be working, and where we have no time frame really, except when we want to. So yeah, I think I'd be happy if
technically Lucy's our boss. So she can't fire us if we strongly disagree.
Certainly not.
Your power has been taken away, Palpatine.
The Palpa Queen.
Palpa Queen.
Yeah. Blood will be shed.
Perfect. No holds barred.
No holds barred. We have, we have so much to talk about. This might not even take, this might take multiple brunch shows. So let's get into it, I think, because I think there's so many different ways we can go here. So hold on, let me go to my screen so you can actually see these lovely ladies. Hold on now. There they are. So I love that your name is Palpa Queen, by the way, but you're dressed as the Baby Yoda.
I am dressed as the Baby Yoda, and of the three of us, I am not the Sith. Probably.
She's not the Sith. Yeah. So let's start with that.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
Of the three. Who all can guess who's the Sith in this trio?
I mean,
it's totally you, Kate. It's totally you.
1000% me.
Yeah.
And now, Kara, you've come over to the dark side as well, because there's always two.
I mean, the last three movies really turned me to the dark side. I find it redundant and annoying. And
tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, there are good things, and we will discuss it. But
there are good things.
The Jedi are flawed, very flawed.
Yeah, they always have been, and they're just not as fun.
Zero fun.
Especially
Luke Skywalker. I find him the least fun.
Yeah,
all the controversy.
You definitely turned me into the dark side. I'm like, this is dumb.
Yeah, we will talk about how they treated my Lord and Savior Luke Skywalker. That's coming up. We're gonna start. So I think the best way is gonna just do it episodically, so we cover all the bases. And like I said, might not get to it all today because there's like 17 movies now, and there's a lot. So episodes 1 through 3. What do we think about it?
I mean, controversially, I think they're pretty good. I mean, original trilogy, supremacy, obviously, but the prequel trilogy, in my opinion, had a lot of interesting things happening. I'm not convinced if they came out first that the series would have been a hit, honestly. I don't know if the public was ready to just go right into Phantom Menace. But I think they all more or less hold up. Again, some weak points. I'm pro prequel.
I
I'm
am
pro
definitely
prequel
more
as well.
pro prequel than I ever was, especially after the latest three came out. But they're just so different. They hit different. They're like a different kind of Star Wars. And it's not
I
necessarily
thought they were way more
bad.
fun.
They're fun. Yeah, like they're the
So
action is
much more
really
fun.
good. There are some really, really corny moments that, like, the Attack of the Clones, like, half of that movie, I'm just like, oh, it's just so cringy. But she looks like those outfits are fine. The
Exactly.
They're
best
so good.
costumes in the whole series are in Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
The main Jedi
Yes.
fly not getting killed by your apprentice. Shiggy, do you want to shut the fuck up? You, listen, getting killed by your apprentice is how you know you've made it, okay? As a
Exactly.
Sith. That means, you know. Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously there's going to be, like, some spoilers, but if you haven't seen Star Wars at this point, you just, like, don't want to. So I'm just giving my, like, what I should say they're spoilers, but, like, at this point, I don't know what to tell you if you haven't
They've been out
seen.
for like they've been
especially,
out for decades.
especially the first 6 episodes. I don't know really what to tell you if you haven't watched them already by now. So yeah, there will be like some spoilers for the newer stuff. We'll try to be a little more conscientious, and I honestly like that's gonna be more y'all because I can't get into any new. I think the last like good Star Wars movie was The Force Awakens, and even then, it's like it was just a New Hope. It was just a New Hope. But I'm getting
Hard
ahead
to
of
agree.
myself. Getting
You
ahead
are.
of myself because
I mean, we could talk rankings. We could talk overall movie rankings
I mean
if
we
we
could,
want to get right to the like bare bones,
the
bare
rank. I don't know
knuckle.
if I could rank all of them. I have like
I haven't thought about that.
yeah, like
Mm.
OG trilogy is definitely like the best for sure. I
I
just
like the prequel so much because y'all are elders. I'm the
Yes.
young bean in the group,
Yes.
and so I had obviously the original three on VHS, and then the
Oh, yes.
prequels were slowly coming out on DVD, and I thought those were so much more fun. Mainly because you could do so much more. They could do so much more in terms of special effects, and also like the themes were a bit more fun. Like I don't know. I mean, episode 2 is painful as an adult watching it, but as a kid watching episode 2, so much more fun.
it was geared
And
more
episode
towards
3.
kids for sure.
Yeah. Like the way they set up Coruscant and the way they did, I remember like the whole assassin like trying to kill Padme and
Yeah.
like the bugs coming in. Like I thought that was the coolest thing, like the most sci-fi thing I've ever seen in my whole life at
Yeah.
that point.
The
Because,
cool like parting of the glass instead of cutting it. Like there were
Yeah.
like I have like I'm like 50-50 on the whole CGI thing because I think one of the things I love the most about the original trilogy is that they use all Jim Henson. Like it's all Jim Henson like practical effects and it just looks better. It's
Yeah.
for immersive purposes, it looks better. So when CGI is introduced, yes, you can do more things and they this is what they envisioned doing, which is why they went back and like fucked up the original trilogy with all the CGI shit that they're adding. But it's just like it also is kind of like the death of creativity for me because it's just like we'll just like CGI it in. I don't know. I think you could go
They
both
definitely
ways.
they took yeah, I think they got to do a lot of silly stuff. Of course it doesn't look as, photoreal as some of the new stuff, but like the attention to detail with all of the little moving parts with Jar Jar Binks and his face, like Jar Jar Binks, problems. Problems. We
Yeah.
acknowledge. But like having watched it fairly recently, like you can tell it's not they're still like innovating and still figuring out how to make a CG character
Yeah. It's
fit in
very
the
new
world. I appreciate
CGI. It's like 1999 Phantom Menace came out. So that's like Matrix time. So we're just
Right.
starting to really figure out how to make CGI look cool. But it's also like it doesn't age well when we have what we have today.
Some of it doesn't, but like the planets, I think 100% do. Coruscant still looks super great to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the scene with the assassin and then Obi-Wan just like jumps out the window.
Yes, and
I
he
don't know
like jumps
why.
on the thing. Yeah. I was watching Attack of the Clones
Amazing.
this morning. It's so
Yeah.
good.
And then like there's like a chase through the city, a big, massive like metropolis that we had never seen before.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was very
Loved
Fifth
it.
Element. It was very cool. And it was just like, I'm here for it. Because they got to do things that they maybe couldn't. And that I'm here
Yeah.
for. Like, the action of the prequels is so good.
So
The
good.
writing, not so much.
I
Yeah.
mean,
You're breaking my heart! Like, just.
controversial opinion. I don't think it's 100% the writing. I think it's that George Lucas only like allowed one take and then they were done. Like nobody got to
Maybe.
redo it. They
Yeah.
were just like, "Oh, you didn't you said the line right. Okay, moving on."
I kind of heard that too. I kind of heard that the actor that played Count Dooku like had actual war experience, and he had to fight Jim quite a bit on like, no, that's not how it would happen. Like that's not how it would sound. Like he
Yeah.
was pretty convinced he had it right the first take, when reality, probably not.
He is
Yeah.
George Lucas is like a world builder, dreamer, and I think the original trilogy succeeds most when he's not directing. He's just the story guy. And
Mm.
that a director can somebody else who that's, their main thing is there on set to be like, that line sounds terrible, or we need to retake that, or this is how this is all going to get
Yeah.
kept together. George Lucas he's the ideas man.
Which is funny
Mhm.
because A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie.
A New Hope?
A New Hope is so good.
Man.
And then it's the one that he like writes and directs. But then like everybody's like The Empire Strikes Back. The only reason it's not my favorite is because it stresses me the fuck out, and it's such a stressful movie. It's so good, obviously, but it's just like the whole like last 30 minutes of that movie give me a panic attack. Especially when he's hanging outside of Bess, but like hanging by the like his knees,
By his one hand.
one-handed. Like no, no,
Yes.
my anxiety.
Exactly.
And like but that's in there's just there's no moments like in the original trilogy. There's a moment in every single one of them where you're just like, oh my god, I don't get those moments in the prequels.
I
Name
got
me a
that moment a
moment.
lot in episode 3.
Yeah, episode
Like
3
a
is
lot. Anakin's like back and forth, more like questionable moral like judgments being called by both the Jedi Council and by Anakin. Where he was
Absolutely.
so
yeah.
set up.
Yeah, episode 3 is my favorite of the prequels, to be honest with you. I know he gets a lot of shit. Like, everybody gave Christensen a lot of shit, but I feel like he kind of came into his own in the third one, honestly. And it's the best, it's the better of the 3.
That's a
Except
tough
for the
call.
no, like, no.
No, I definitely agree. Like Anakin's all of his scenes, the back and forth, especially his scenes with Palpatine, just like absolutely giving Shakespeare.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
Very,
And,
very
like,
Macbeth
He's killing
Exactly.
younglings.
energy.
Exactly. And then like the march into the temple and just his fall and his fight with Obi-Wan, interspersed with Yoda's fight with Sidious.
Good shit.
Amazing.
It's really good.
Good shit.
It's good
But
shit.
also, there's like that moment in Phantom Menace too, right? Like the Duel of the Fates.
Yeah,
That is that moment.
Yes. Duel of the Fates is iconic. It is one of the better fights. Like, I was trying to decide which was better to me. It's honestly tied for honestly. Like the Duel of the Fates and then Luke versus Vader, Return of the Jedi. Like when he turns Luke into a Sith at one point, like that's when he cuts off his hand and becomes like the mirror image of his father. But like just the power of the Sith, baby. It's just the power of the Sith. And that's why that fight is so good, because he's like, look how much more powerful you are when you're a Sith. I'm just saying.
Intoxicating.
But like Duel of the Fates,
It's all empty promises, right? Like everything Palpatine promises never comes to light. Both in the original and in the last 3. He's just saying shit and just trying his darndest to be the most raggedy old man in the galaxy.
but trying not to be too. Like he's just like
That's why, I like Maul so much more, and like that generation of Sith, so
Yes.
much better,
so much
than
cooler.
Palpatine.
let's just get it out of the
so-
way that like Darth Maul is the coolest character.
Yes, and like you say that, spoiler alerts, for not even having seen the animated shows. You've seen
Yeah.
like the tiniest bit of Maul, and yes, agree. Maul's entire arc, amazing. No
He's
notes.
so good in the animated shows. So good.
I'm
Okay,
excited
I
for
saw the craziest thing. Not the craziest thing, but so the actor that played Darth Maul in episode 3 forgot to take his ear piercing out. He has a little stud
Yes.
in his, and they added it in the animated shows.
They did.
I
Love.
It's the detail.
do
So
love that.
good.
Yep, empty promises and Sith go together like murdering kids and Sith. Do you want to fuck off? You want to fuck off?
Yes. Yes, correct.
I mean, it was like, I guess it's just an ends to a means, right? Like, he's just like, I'm going to manipulate the shit out of this guy because he's super powerful. And then by the time it's over,
Yeah.
what is he going to do about it? Like, what's he going to do about it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's, he's
I guess it
wonderful.
does come full circle
Yeah.
because the kid of Anakin then tries to kill Anakin, ultimately saving Anakin. Big full circle.
Big full circle.
Children always come back, even though we're murdering children very easily. They do come back.
He does it multiple
No.
times, too. Like, when he,
Yeah.
in Attack of the Clones, he murders all the sand people, like, all of them.
Yes.
He goes full...
The women and the children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
The women.
the children. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
He just goes full rogue sometimes, and you know, it's just that's very Sith. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, what would a Jedi do? A Jedi is just so boring. They're just like, oh, you just, what are you gonna do? Boring. They're just boring.
Boring?
Boring. They're just like, well, we'll think about it. We'll ruminate on that and learn from
We'll
it.
discuss.
Yeah,
We'll
like
talk about it for a little bit, consider all of our options.
I don't have time for that. I could have gone on a
Wow.
full Revenge of the Sith rampage by now, and that's what I want to
And
do.
no.
So,
Yeah. The council will just ruminate on it and then call Obi-Wan from wherever he is in the galaxy to
you
go deal
fix
with it.
it. Yeah, like he's not
It's
even
not
on
what
the
you're doing.
council.
Right. Literally. Like,
Yoda is
they called
boring.
him and Anakin from across the galaxy, right, to come solve the attack on Coruscant
Right?
when they were all right there in the temple. I would be
What
mad if
do
I was
you
Anakin
do?
too.
What do you do? I know.
Wasn't that because... No, that is an episode in Clone Wars that I'm really confused.
They just
They
But
called
yes,
Anakin and Ahsoka back because it was possible that a Jedi did it. Like, did the bombing on Coruscant. And then
Yeah.
they were,
Oh.
like, the only away. So they were, like,
that's a different.
who came up with that?
clean
A
bomb.
Jedi doing a bombing? That doesn't correlate. That
but
doesn't-
she did
Yeah,
it. She did it, bro.
it's true. It was that. See, in Clone Wars, you say the Jedi are boring. They're really not boring. They just don't ever get any of their own arcs in the movies outside of like our main 3 or 4. But there's so many interesting characters who have their own like conflicts and questions and like losses and everything, which just gets lost from the movies.
Yeah, they do very much focus on like 3 people.
Yeah, like after you watch the Clone Wars and then you go back and you're watching Revenge of the Sith and Order 66 happens, you're just like devastated. You're like, oh my god, Plo Koon, I have seen you do so many things. You are just a fuzzy teddy bear adopted father, because Star Wars loves an adopted father, and like you've just been shot out of the sky,
No.
and I am devastated.
I mean, it's already really sad. You know, you're already like, oh, that's really sad. Like,
It's about to get 10 times worse. Like
Oh,
if
no.
you watch Clone Wars.
yeah, it's already pretty
Yeah.
rough to watch. So, not looking forward to that.
It's so worth it though, because I mean, not to belabor the point, but I think part of the reason the prequels I love them so much is because of the extra depth that you get with Clone Wars
Yeah,
and then Rebels.
we'd never
like,
seen it before, and we'd only heard about it.
Yeah. And it
You
just
followed my
connects all
father in the
these
Clone
pieces.
Wars. Like,
Right.
I want to know what that
And you
is.
see all of it and
Mhm.
all of the relationships and all of the growth and all of the kind of falls from grace, all the backstory, and it just, I don't know. I don't know how Dave Filoni did it. He took like disparate pieces and he was like, let me just build infrastructure between all of these
There's so much room to
and
do
make it a
that
hundred
too.
times better. Yeah,
There's just
and he
endless
did it so well.
content here. Really, there is.
Yes, it's true. And it's not like Solo, where they were just like, let's give everything a backstory. Here's how he got his name.
I
Here's how
didn't
he got
even
his
watch
knife. Here's how
Solo.
he got his ship. Oh my God, don't watch it,
I
honestly.
didn't want to, and I
It's
was like
not
Ron
worth
Howard.
it.
I'm a Ron Howard stan, and I just wasn't interested.
Terrible.
Yeah, and that's what I heard. Like, I really wasn't interested after everybody saw it because everyone said it was bad.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Did you see Solo, Kara?
Yeah, and I kind of liked it.
Ah!
I thought the actor that played young Han did the idioms between him and Harrison Ford so well.
He
Like,
did.
very good. And I really appreciated that. And Woody Harrelson had a really fun character. And Amelia Clarke was once again evil, which I love. She played Daenerys Stormborn in GOT. So,
Oh, I didn't know she was
Big
in. I
fan.
forgot she was in it.
She's kind of the best part.
Yeah, she's with the Sith in a very indirect way. And that was Han's like first love. So it explains why Han is so abrasive and jaded. You know? I liked it. I thought it was fun. It is very like everyone needs a backstory and this is why you need to care, and you're like, except I don't,
Yeah.
because
Right.
we all know where this leads, so
Yeah.
I'm not invested as much as you want me to be invested.
But then
But
at the same,
I thought it was fun.
I had the same problem with the new Star Wars though as well. Like with like Laura Dern's character, like she shows up. I'm supposed to care about her, and like, spoiler alert, she like sacrifices herself or whatever, and it's just like I don't care. You make this huge moment for me to care about, and you don't give me any backstory for this person. She's like kind of just there, and she was like, she like does this whole like sacrificial moment, and I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care about anyone in the new series. Like, and it's kind of the problem with the first 3 episodes too. Like, I just don't care about anyone.
What? You
I
don't care about anyone in the prequels?
I don't really care.
Back up.
Like, not like I do with the
I thought you
original
loved
3.
Maul.
I
Whoa,
do
whoa,
care
whoa.
about Darth Maul, but he gets got like
You
pretty quick.
should hold the prequels in very high regard if you care about Maul. And that's the only Maul you've seen. I'm sorry. This is so controversial. Back up.
Back up.
You only saw Maul in the first 3, so you have to hold the first 3 in somewhat of a high regard, because that's the
Sure.
only Maul you've seen.
Sure, I do, but like he gets got in the first episode, and dies like a chump. Also, like he gets cut in half, and like immediately after fighting Obi-Wan, and it's just like I need to watch. I mean, this is the biggest reason why I want to watch
Your
the
choice
Clone Wars.
bro.
Listen,
You do, because like that is literally
I
like
need
not
more.
his death, that is his birth.
I need more Maul. Yeah, I need more Maul
You need to
because
go. Yes.
it's just so cool.
But also other prequel characters like Count Dooku, amazing. I love him.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
I just don't care. Like, I don't know, man.
What?
I just don't really
Also-
care about anyone. I mean, Ian McGregor does a great job. He's a great Obi-Wan.
He's a great Obi-Wan.
Don't care.
What about our queen, Padme Amidala?
She's just kind of there.
The best.
I don't know. Sith are so
I
powerful.
mean-
It gets cut in half. Do you want to shut up? I'm gonna shut up over there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel the same way as I do about the original like cast. The original cast make you feel something, and I just don't get that same emotion with it. I don't know. It's not the same gravitas for me.
I need you to. We need to have this same conversation post you watching Clone Wars,
Okay.
because literally, like, sacrilege right now.
Okay. Well, yeah. Without having seen the Clone Wars, this is the only thing I can offer.
Okay. But also, I will say again, Padme Amidala, like, the best.
Best female character, hands down.
What? No.
Leia goes off the handle so many times, and it's so like
Off the handle. What do you
damsel in
mean?
distress. Except I then deny any help, even though I've called for help multiple times. I just disaster. And then she gets wild in the last 3. Just all
Yeah.
of a sudden has the Force, can survive space.
Oh my god, don't even like that's the
Yeah,
I almost
garbage.
walked out of the fucking theater when that happened. I swear I almost did. Shiggy, like you can back me up. Like we were about to fucking The Last Jedi is an abomination to any Star Wars fan, or it should be. It's the
Yeah.
worst. I actually really liked The Force Awakens and I defended it, and then they fucking did the like I get really heated about The Last Jedi. I did not even watch the fucking Skywalker, whatever the hell it's called, Last Skywalker.
You didn't
Rise
watch
of
Rise of Sky.
Skywalker?
Excuse me,
No,
you
hell
haven't
no, I
seen the
didn't.
Rise of
Fuck no. I
Skywalker?
value my
Damn.
time more than that. No. After The Last
But,
Jedi,
like-
I was done, man.
But you gotta know. Also,
It's so
I think
hard
The
to
Last
have these
Jedi.
discussions when you just choose not to watch. Like
I know what
80% of
happens.
this.
I had my stepbrother
Yeah.
spoil the whole fucking thing for me, and I was like, I am so fucking happy I didn't go watch that. It sounds horrible, and I hate
feel
it.
like for Star Wars completionism.
No.
Yeah, it's
Watch it.
giving
Fuck
unfinished
no.
homework.
No,
It's
thank you.
giving-
Pass.
Yes.
Hard pass.
But also, I know this is like our main point of disagreement on Star Wars. I think Last Jedi is the least offensive of the final 3.
Oh no, no.
I'm just gonna
no,
throw that
no,
truth
dog.
bomb out at you.
I will never watch Last Jedi ever again. Like, I watched The Force Awakens again after I saw it, and I liked it enough to go see The Last Jedi. And I was like, okay, maybe like, and I know like I was like, okay, yeah, it's kind of like A New Hope, but I thought we were kind of like going back to our roots. They kind of Stranger Things to me though, and then they like went completely off the rails.
Yes, the Stranger Things is exactly the right. They didn't do anything other than just try and tap that nostalgia vein.
And it
And
doesn't
that was
work,
it.
and they go completely
It
off
doesn't
the
work.
rails. It goes so far
Yes.
off the rails that it shouldn't be considered canon. It is insane to me.
But Last Jedi at least tried to do something interesting and
No.
like move the story forward
How did it do that?
of the Jedi
Come on now.
and like the fall of the Jedi Order and Luke's disillusionment.
Is that canon though? Like in the books? I don't even know. 'Cause,
Well, what books are canon anymore? Who even?
I mean, I
it's
don't
a
know. That's
whole-
the thing.
It's
It's
a
just
whole other discussion.
even Mark Hamill hated it. Like I don't know. It's just like when you
Mark Hamill had bad things to say about all
Mark
three of the
Hamill also kind of went off the rails.
yeah.
Yes,
I
exactly.
Yeah.
He had bad things to say about all 3 of them. So
well, because they're
it was-
all kind of bad.
He had sexist things to say, and I was like, Mark,
He did.
your age is showing.
What did he say? I don't even know.
a little bit.
Oh, if we had the Freedom to Show video, I would have shared it. But there's this, like, he went on this stream and he was basically giving his rebuttal on how he felt after The Force Awakens. And he's like, oh, wow, the really powerful Jedi is a woman, really creative, guys. And, like, he just was talking in that sort of diction of, like, wow, you guys are so creative. You made it a woman? Wow.
I kind
And
of,
I'm like,
I
Mark,
kind of agree. I'm not
great.
lying. Like, I don't think that's sexist to say. I think it's like he's kind of like, you got nothing else. I don't
But
know.
that's what he took away from it. That the character, like, of Rey, he took away that it was a woman. Like, that was it.
Yeah, I remember that interview, and it was very much like everybody's got to be a girl now, and like in tone versus saying like so the only thing you can do is just gender swap the characters and we're good to go. It was definitely more annoying than positive.
Because I mean, like, I kind of get that. Like, this the whole like Ocean's 8 bullshit, right? Like, I just want a fucking female heist movie that's not Ocean's 8. Like, I get that though. Like, that sentiment resonates with me. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the interview, but
Wait. What would be the option otherwise? Like, how do you involve? What would be better if it wasn't Rey being a female and her being like, the pivotal chosen one Jedi? What would be the other option then?
Or
I'm
like a
asking you,
female.
like, if being the female wasn't the feminist move, because that's already been done, what would be the better option?
I don't know. I mean, you have all these other powerful characters, right? Like you just make it about them. You have Ashka, Oshkosh
Ahsoka.
Bigosh,
Ahsoka?
Ahsoka.
Oh,
Like,
Ahsoka.
I mean, you have all of these like really powerful characters that you could bring in also. But I mean, like if you want to make
not in that timeline.
okay, maybe they're. I don't know enough about like the canon of the time of the new ones because it's so new.
Right. So your bold ass statements have holes in them, Kate.
Sure, I'm sure they do. That's the whole point of these things. You put me in my place now. But I mean, like, I get the sentiment, right? Because it's just like that is kind of happening. But I am here for. I am here. I liked Ray. Ray's fine. But like,
I agree. Rey was fine. It was where it went off the rails in the third
I
movie
just.
for me.
See, you want me
Yeah,
to
I
watch
don't
it, but
like
now
the
you're
bloodline
admitting that it's
conversation
terrible. I don't
overall.
want to watch it. I know it's
It
terrible.
has so many flaws. But
So
what
many.
Lucy and I have talked about is that I do think there is a place for 3 more after the original 3. Like,
Yes.
there was a very good need for a following after the last original 3 in terms of, you know, if we're going to continue the universe, which I think a lot of us like if we're going to keep continuing the universe, then movies need to be made. And I think there was definitely an opportunity for there to be more inclusion, like the outrage of there being a black male actor
Now that's
as a
dumb.
main character. It need like I'm like there's the fandom of Star Wars that have so many things backwards in
Yes.
terms of like sexism and racism and homophobia and all that shit. Like, yeah, there needs to be more Star Wars that obviously includes like trumps that trope of hate that
Totally.
the older Star Wars fandom just need to fucking get over. You
Absolutely.
know? Like,
I love John
So-
Boyega. I thought Finn. That's why I liked The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens, like he's this like rogue stormtrooper. I really liked Finn's story, and then they like forgot about him. Like
Yeah,
last,
that's the thing. They caved to the
Yeah.
fans who
Right.
were like, "We don't want to see
yeah,
this black man and this Asian woman," and they were just like, "Okay, then, never mind."
well, to be
We'll
fair,
change to That's
that
the
character
thing.
sucked too. Like
Yeah.
Rose is like the worst character, but like Finn is fun. Finn had a really fun storyline, and I mean, that's one of the things I like the most about Force Awakens, honestly, because you'd never seen a rogue stormtrooper. They're supposed to be these like mindless minions that just do whatever the Empire wants, but like he has a mind of his own. They like humanize the stormtroopers through Finn, and I really liked that. And I don't know, I really liked the Force Awakens. But yeah, it's like it all goes to hell in the Last Jedi. It's so hard that I can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, it doesn't get any better.
Oh no, like
No,
I was
But you should still finish. You should
no,
still finish it.
no. I have
Gotta-
more value
gotta know.
I mean, do
for
you
my
have
time.
any interest in Kylo Ren?
I a little bit, but like I
Because
just
that it completes his arc, sort of.
Sort of in like a clunky way.
they
Yeah, that ending was garbage.
talk about I
Absolute
don't
garbage.
care.
But the whole like, I mean, it's back to once again changing the bad guys back into good. You know,
Yes.
so that's how Kylo
Right.
circled up.
Just let him be bad. Just let him be bad. Just we don't have to always do the full circle, you know? Like we could make them more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but honestly,
the
the
whole
last 3
issue.
were the repeat of the first 3.
Exactly. The last
So.
3 just being like copies. With the
Yep.
and the Last Jedi, I think, is the least offensive because it at least tried to do something different and progress like the lore instead of just repeating everything. But to answer your question before Kara of what would have been a great, if not Rey as this character, this is probably too deep cut in the nerddom, but in the books, Luke marries a character named Mara Jade,
Mara
right?
Jade.
Who was a Sith, who
That's my
was
girl.
raised as a Sith and whatever. Like she would have been a great character.
Yes!
To put it to fore,
Yes.
in my opinion.
100%. Mara Jade, that's what I'm
No-
saying. There's so many characters that you could do. Like Mara Jade, I'm waiting for them to fuck her story up because they just have to do it because her story is so, like That's if I was any character in the Star Wars universe, it would be Mara Jade. My lightsaber is
Fair enough.
modeled after her lightsaber, but I'm just inevitably they're gonna fuck it up. So I'm not really excited for the time that they do it. But talk about
Maybe
an
they'll do
interesting
it animated.
character. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
if you do
like,
it animated, it'll be done right.
Yeah.
ugh. But
But
Yeah,
I
Mara
think they
Jade.
sort of invalidated his marriage because Mark Hamill was real old and died, and there was no mention of, his wife and twins.
That's such a
So,
mistake. That's such a mistake. Well,
yeah.
yeah, they're
Which
just
is
gonna completely
also
change her canon. I'm sure if they do it.
so not fucking Luke Skywalker. He's so hypocritical about out the ways of the Jedi. In Mandalorian season 2, he's saying all these absolutes, and there's so much clarification on Jedi's don't only Sith talk in absolutes.
My
Like
husband says
Yoda
this to me
says
all
it,
the time.
Qui-Gon says this, and then Luke just runs around saying all this bullshit, and then goes on marrying someone, having kids, which is also against the Jedi way.
Well, that's always been his thing, though.
Luke just wilded.
Yeah, that's always been
Right.
his thing. He's always been like in the middle. He's almost a gray Jedi himself. My Kotar fans, like Mara Jade, likes him. Like they're both kind of gray Jedis. Like he wants to. Like that's like his whole plight in the original trilogy is that like he's like on this cusp, right? Like of being a Sith, of being a Jedi. He doesn't know which way to go really. And I guess
Yeah.
that's like always kind of a
I
thing.
always imagined him portrayed in the originals as like this righteous chosen one.
Especially the third, like episode 6.
Yeah, like so righteous and the only person that can do the right thing, and like he's your father, so you're the only one that can do this because you're pure and you're good, and he's bad. So go get him. And that's like that's the Luke that I knew, and then they carried that through his cameos and shit in the last 3 and in this Mandalorian cameos that he did.
Yeah, I
Just
heard
this
he was in
righteous,
Mandalorian.
all-knowing Jedi, whatever, and then saying all this hypocritical bullshit, and I'm like, get out of here! You stick in the mud,
Get out of
you're
here.
ruining things.
I think if they'd given that a little more screen time, because he didn't, like, he had Obi-Wan for like what, 3 days, and then he had
Yeah.
Ghost Obi-Wan and Yoda for what was that supposed to be, 2-3 years?
Yeah.
And then Ghost Yoda, right? Then Yoda was like, actually, never mind.
There's another. We'll
So-
figure it out if he doesn't make it.
Yeah. So he got such a small fraction of like the actual full Jedi experience and education that
Yeah,
it could be interesting of him like thinking he knows everything and being very absolute and then becoming disillusioned. I just think we haven't seen that enough, and so it is this like
It's
it is
jarring.
dissonant a little bit.
Yeah, like it just comes out of nowhere the way that they have it done.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
yeah,
they'll fill in the gaps again.
I don't know. I don't
Make
know
it
if they
more of a
can.
story.
I don't want more Luke gap fill. I want something totally different. I want pre all of this garbage lore, like when the Sith were popping.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? That's what I want.
I'm into that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
One of the new shows is supposed to be like the Before Times, right? The Acolyte, I want to say. Maybe it's a different one.
I think so. I
One
heard
of
that.
the like newly announced projects is supposed to be in like 1,000 years before anything we've ever seen, which is exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll do whatever you
And that
want.
gives you so much freedom to not fuck things up.
Yeah.
Like that they tend to be doing with all this add-on.
That's the
stuff.
problem. Is that like when there's so much canon, you can't wild out like that. You can't do that. I always appreciate like trying new things, but like you can't completely dismantle the canon that's been like 30 years in the making or whatever, like or longer.
Yeah.
30 to 50 years in the making, whatever. Like
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Unless-
It's not gonna work.
It doesn't work if you stay so close. And I feel I'm just going to do it. I'm going to bring Star Trek to a Star Wars fight right now. If you do what Star Trek did, right? And you had the original series, and then they jumped 100 years in the future for like the next spin-off series, which was so smart because then they had all of that like
Yeah.
history to play with, and they, and they even went back in time and other things and interacted with the originals. but that was such a smart move.
Yeah.
And I think time for Star Wars to do something like that.
I think they
I'm
have
not
to.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I think that's. I think that whatever this show is that goes into the. What'd you say, Kara? It goes before like episode 1,
Yeah,
like
like
1,000 years.
it's called the Acolyte, because I played
Okay.
that as well, and it's like pre like episode 1.
I think that's
So we're
smart.
not even, yeah, and it's about like, when I'll say it again, that's when the Sith were popping. That's
I'm
when the Sith
excited for
were
that.
like, they knew what's up, and there was not just the one apprentice that then kills the one master jargon that
We're
we've been
more
seeing.
than that.
It's like a whole like society and community of Sith, and they genuinely think they're good,
Yeah,
and
they are
they
good.
do all sorts of shit.
I want to like maybe they'll bring Mara Jade into that. I don't know because she is. I mean, she's that's before her time, but like, I just want to see it. I want to see it.
There's a book about one Sith Lord who's a female, and um, she had she had a prophecy that the Force would ultimately destroy the universe. So she set out to then destroy the Force.
That's
She's
fun.
like the back and forth between the
Love
Force
that.
is what's going to end all things. So she then like went wild and tried to destroy the Force itself.
That's fun.
That's fantastic.
I would
Love
watch
Which would
that.
be so cool.
Yeah, I
Like,
would
if you
watch
just
that.
did one show about that, that would be so good. And you don't have to, like what Lucy's saying is when you're getting like so close, you unknowingly break your own rules. Like you write rules and then you unknowingly break them because you then lose the creative freedom.
Right.
Whereas like all this beautiful like canon book stuff, go crazy with it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like you have it so set up cleanly that you don't want to go off the rails in terms of plot, but you have so much creative freedom in terms of like effects and casting
You
and
definitely
character.
have more for sure.
Yeah.
Should you take out the trash, please? Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Yeah, that's my life.
Love that.
I do only deal in absolutes. I really do. I try
Yeah,
not to, but
You're like, that movie is the worst. And we're like,
It's
hey,
true.
it's
I
Maybe
act-
worst or best.
self-admittedly, I'm a Sith, man. Like, what do you want? Like, I've never hidden that I'm not. Like, I catch myself all the time, and he'll only a Sith deals in absolutes. I'm like, oh right. I'm such a Sith. I like Mara Jade. I like her because she's like she's so much more. She's a gray Jedi. She leans more Jedi than Sith, but I lean more Sith than Jedi for sure. But it's kind of a cop-out to say you're a gray Jedi too, so I just say I'm a Sith. Everybody's a gray Jedi.
Jedi nowadays.
I think we all know the flaws of the Jedi, so it's much easier to just,
Yeah. Boring.
yeah.
Yoda is boring, yes.
If I could choose Mandalorian, I totally would.
You could.
1200.
You can. I think that counts. Like,
Okay, I choose it. Go for it.
I mean, Mandalorian, I didn't hate Mandalorian, but it was kind of like Borderlands for me, where it was like it's the same quest every episode. It's just too grindy for me. Like it's like the same story in every episode, and that's like one of the reasons I don't like Borderlands. And that's the only thing I can really compare it to. Like it's just like it's great, and who doesn't love Pedro Pascal? Like he's so hot right now, and who doesn't love like okay, real question though, like if the little baby Yoda wasn't in The Mandalorian, would you like it as much?
Of course not.
I would totally. Oh, I would love it without Grogu.
Okay.
I mean, he
Really?
is giving like adopted dad,
yeah.
like
Is that why
that
everybody likes
trope
it?
that women love. I mean, I love it too. However, like I just particularly love Mandalore and the Mandalorians. Like
I
they're
mean, I have my
they're giving like
Boba
space
Fett.
Vikings, and I'm here for it.
yeah,
You're very space Viking.
Yeah.
that is fun.
I just
Yeah.
love his little puppet expressions.
He's so
like-
he is very cute.
Yes.
He's very
Yeah.
cute.
And the Mandalorian, much like what you were saying, Kate, Dave Filoni is reverting back to puppets and like puppeteering.
Yeah.
And there's a lot in it that
It's
are
so
puppets that you could have
rich.
very easily done CGI, and I think that is so much fun, and it gives it such good flavor.
Because Jon Favreau understands that. Like
Yeah.
Jon Favreau, I mean, anything that dude does is really good, right? Like because he has integrity, he's a huge Star Wars fan, so he knows what the problems are. And The Mandalorian is by far the best new series, for sure, 100%.
What do you think, Lucy? Do you agree with that statement?
But y'all have been watching more than I
We've
have.
seen
We've seen it
more.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What do y'all think?
I mean, that's tough. Are we talking live action new series? Because if we're talking any new series, The Bad Batch wins hands down.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
day.
So what is that?
Live action. Oh.
So The Bad Batch is like a sort of a spin-off of the Clone Wars, because The Bad Batch was introduced in the Clone Wars. They're 5 clones that were like basically specially bred to be like particularly good at different things, and they're like a little crew. And then it's post Order 66 and their sort of adventures. And I will
So
say
like
no more
in between episodes 2 and 3?
Yes.
Okay.
No, in between episodes 3 and 4.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's post 66.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
But they're
it's when,
introduced earlier.
Okay.
like their like initial, like the overall antagonist of that show is the Empire phasing out the clones into stormtroopers, and
Yes.
like the Senate is trying to, like, clones are beings, right? Like they're trying to fight for their rights, and the Empire is just like slaughtering them by the thousands
As
and
they
like
tend to
phasing
do.
them out into stormtroopers for whatever reason. Like they're convinced stormtroopers are the way, in the way of knowing that the clones did have an allegiance to the Jedi in some sort
Right.
of way.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they're just trying to evade the Empire, not get phased out, while watching like their fellow clones like be experimented on, be tortured, like be slaughtered. Like you watch Tatooine get fucking wrecked. Like
Yeah. A lot of good things to say about like veterans issues and like
mhm.
the trauma of war and
Is
all
it
that type of stuff.
animated?
It's really well done. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
I saw it when I was
It
on,
is.
like, watching all the Star Wars, and I remember, Kara, you really liking it.
I love it so much. I love it so much. It has
It's-
such a chokehold on me.
I'll have to watch it. Like, maybe I'll have better luck with the animated shows, but like, I don't know, man. Like, The Mandalorian, I couldn't stick with it, but it was the one I stuck with the
Yeah.
I get
most,
it
if
for
that makes
season
sense.
1.
Yeah, I watched most
get
of
one
season
and
1.
2.
Season 1 was the very like superficial story setup where it's like you need to get this item to then move on to this next
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Blah blah
God,
blah blah blah.
I'm
Which I also
tired.
found tiring. Like
Yeah.
totally tiring.
It's
And
just
then I think season 2 you are catching on to what the overall plot is, and then season 3 just like
Season 3 is great.
bam 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 bam,
Okay.
so much shit is happening, and Bo-Katan comes back, and
Maybe I'll try it again and just pick up
Yeah.
where I left off and not try to watch it all over again, because it's
I mean,
just
what's the problem of watching more Petro?
because it's not actually
problem?
him. There's no problem,
I mean-
zero problem. But he's precisely the best part of that character is that he wears a helmet the whole time, right? Like it could be anybody. So it's not even, I get to enjoy
Kinda.
Pedro.
I mean, there are moments where he's
Yeah.
like, he comes to realize that the Mandalorian, faction that he belonged to was considered a cult. Like,
Yes.
actually,
That's the thing.
Mandalorians like can take their helmets off and can have relationships outside
Yeah.
of the armor, and he just is like, he comes across a lot of existential crises following that
That's fun. I
type
like
of
that.
language, because that's all he's known.
That's
So
what they should have
you
done for
kinda-
Finn. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they should have done that for Finn. I have heard a theory that those 3 movies would have been so much better if Finn was actually the main character.
Yeah.
Like, you had Rey's story, but instead, like, Rey's doing that, but you're watching Finn, like, be human.
And you have
And
Oscar Isaac, like, just there, like, hello, like, make
yeah,
him, like, make Finn and Poe, like, they were trying to push this, like, BFF forever, like, situation, and I would have been so fucking here for that, let me just say. But they just pussied out and, like, decided to make it all about Rey and Luke, and it was just like, this is terrible. And, like, especially because of what you've done. I can't believe you've done this. Like, I can't believe you've done this is the tagline for The Last Jedi. Like, it's just the worst. But, like,
I do
I agree.
agree. Especially because in the trailers for The Force Awakens, way back in, the Elder time, it's not that long ago, but in the trailers, they had Finn with the lightsaber. They had Finn in different
And
scenes
you were
that Rey
like,
later
oh
was
my
in.
god, yeah.
Yeah, they like trolled us with him
yeah,
as the main character, and I would be fine with Rey staying a main character, but
Yeah.
I think Finn should have been given equal
Absolutely.
screen time, and that would have been a cool kind of
yeah,
dynamic.
because he
Right.
kind of loves Rey.
Yeah.
Or I don't. They
So
could
that
never
could be
make
the
up their
tie.
mind.
Like,
Yeah,
I
because
think he
then
loves Rey.
she had the Kylo thing, and then he,
I mean, I mean,
that could have been the.
how can
I
you?
think Kylo is literally just dark side sex appeal.
Yes.
Like that whole.
You can't
It's
put.
just like, are you attracted to Kylo? Like, no shit. I would be too. Adam Driver.
Or is it Adam Driver?
The tallest glass of water of all time.
Yeah.
But I think like that whole like love interest thing was actually basically just another depiction of like the coercion of the dark side.
Sibling
me?
rivalry.
I think yes, if they had in the third movie pulled it back and like had the Finn be, represent.
Yeah.
I think
And
it
I
would
don't
have been
think
good.
I think Finn loves her way more than she loves him.
Yeah.
And I think that's a total.
But I
think
like
that's
that.
a great story.
Yeah, I do
Yeah, I
too.
think that's a great story, and that should have been. Yeah, like if it were Finn's story, that should have stayed the same.
Yes.
Like she should be having this like love triangle with Kylo and Finn, but actually the love triangle is between good and bad.
We love a
I think
love
that would have been
triangle.
so much better.
Yes. Who doesn't
Hands
like
down.
Very-
Twilight,
Totally
Hunger Games? We love a love
Hunger
triangle.
Games.
Yes.
We
Exactly.
love the love triangle, and it's an easy way to make a story more interesting. It's easy. It's just easy. Like it's so easy. It's just that's what's so
Sex
frustrating.
Sex. Self.
Yeah, well that too, and it's just like
And if that's between freaking Finn and Adam Driver, bro,
right,
take my money.
right.
Take my money.
That's what. Yeah, exactly. And I just don't
Yeah.
understand what happened, and like who read Ryan Johnson's fucking script and was like, "Yeah, this is fucking good, dude. This is so good. Let's do it." Like, and it's just like,
Let's
oh
go.
my god, like. I mean, because you're really excited. The way they set it up at the end of The Force Awakens, Rey's on that island, and you're just like, oh my god, like, oh, like she's holding out the lightsaber. I have goosebumps talking about it. Like, I was floored. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna do like a Dagobah, like Luke trains Rey situation. I was here for it. And then The Last Jedi was what it was.
But
I have trust
really-
issues.
Do
Yes.
we really need to just see the
Yes.
original three?
Yes, we
with
do.
different-
Okay,
No.
I would have been there so hard for a
Oh,
Luke
stop.
training Rey moment. They could have made it more interesting. They could have done different stuff instead of
Maybe.
doing just like a redo of Dagobah. But instead of him being like this fucking like weird anti Sith Jedi that like comes out of nowhere, I don't know, man. I feel like they could have made it work, but it didn't work. Didn't work for me.
It was supposed to work with Kylo. It was supposed to. But it's just Luke being Luke, which is why I don't like it.
Yeah.
But
It-
it's
It
He
is
tried
a
to
stretch.
train. Yeah, he tried to train Jedi, right? Like the whole
Yes.
setup of Kylo was he's trying to train Jedi, and like Lucy said, he's been a Jedi for like what, 2 minutes,
2 minutes.
half a second. So he's trying to do this and then fucked up because once again he's just falling on the whole righteous chosen one train.
but see, I like
Actually
that.
not having known anything, and then screwed up, Ben Solo making Kylo Ren.
See, I like that. I just don't know if the way they did it works. Because he's just such a departure from Return of the Jedi Luke, which is the last time we ever see him. We don't
It
see
is
him in any
Maul.
of the
I
prequels,
totally
all that shit, like, because he's
agree.
not born or whatever. So, like, the last time we see Luke, he is this badass, like, I am ascended chosen one. And then the next time we see him is The Last Jedi, and you're just like, what the fuck happened? Like, they don't explain the disconnect for me very well.
I think that's very, very true. I think that's very true. It was a big leap. I didn't
Yeah.
make that connection until now,
Yeah.
but that's true.
Because, like,
Yeah.
I'm expecting, like, a Yoda moment. Like, Luke is Yoda now. He's gonna train Rey. She's gonna become a super badass. Like, I was here for that. Regardless if
We
it's
saw,
recycled or not. Like, they could have made it interesting. I would have watched it.
yeah, we saw like 6 minutes of that moment in Mandalorian,
Oh.
Yes.
which is the Luke that I like the least.
Yes, that's fair. The thing,
Yeah.
I don't mind the big change because such like a large amount of time has passed. The thing that doesn't make sense for me with Luke's journey in particular is how he goes right to I need to kill my nephew.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's the turn that doesn't make sense for me. Not that
Right.
he's like disillusioned, angry,
Right.
PTSD
Right.
monk.
I like
It's
that.
He didn't.
I need to
You're
kill
right.
him.
What the
He didn't
fuck?
make Darth Vader.
Right.
So
he
why
didn't
did
kill
he feel
Darth
that
Vader.
way?
Right.
Doesn't make any sense.
Why did he go right to
Ah,
I must murder
problem.
my own nephew in this moment?
I don't know.
Dead ass.
That's what's missing for me.
I was like, I've never been so close to walking out of a fucking movie like multiple times. That was one of the, like, that flashback where he's like, I thought about it, and it was like, oh, all of a sudden I just came to and was like, what am I doing? And it's just like, what? I thought you were supposed to be like a master at this point. Like, this doesn't happen. Like, I just.
But how can he be a master? He's had like 2 years of training. I don't. There's a
Yeah,
lot of things
I
that just
definitely-
wasn't explored.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
timing
that's
is
true.
really
To my mind.
convoluted. Like, I don't understand when that's supposed to take place. I still don't. Like, the last time
Yeah.
you see him in A Return of the Jedi, he's like, you know, he's in his like late 20s, early 30s, and then we see him again in The Last Jedi, or at the, I guess at the end of Force Awakens, and he's older. He's like much older. You know, not just because time has passed in real life, but like I thought it was supposed to be like a long time in the, like, he's had time to hone his skills and actually become a master. It was
And at that
the idea.
point, like when we finished Return of the Jedi, right? And he, like you said, is now on this journey to rebuild the Jedi. That's his journey, is to rebuild the Jedi, because they're all dead. Like,
Yeah.
Darth Vader did his job.
Yeah.
He got them all.
Yeah.
Except for Ahsoka. But but like
Maybe Ahsoka, because her voice is there. But
But that's
You
like
get
that's what
it.
happens when the Jedi die, right? Like Obi-Wan becomes a voice.
yeah, so like in not to derail your point, Kara, but in the Rise of Skywalker, Rey hears all the Jedi voices, and it's only like dead Jedi.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka's voice is there, but like Ezra's from
Aw.
Rebels is not. So like, there's much speculation that she must have died before then. But you're
I
correct,
didn't
we
pick
haven't
that
seen
up.
her like on screen death. But anyway, I derailed your point.
Do you know how she dies?
No, it like it's never been.
Okay. Okay, great. I was like, you
Lord.
better not know, because I don't know, and
No, I wouldn't
we're
spoil
about
that.
to
For
watch Ahsoka.
Well, also, if you don't see it happen, it doesn't happen.
you. Right, and like, who's to say that she didn't just like call in, like Luke called across.
How positive
In the
are you that it was Ahsoka's voice? Because I didn't even pick that up.
The voice actress from Clone Wars was billed, I believe, as her voice.
Mm,
That's the easy
Actually,
page.
I believe you.
after
I
that.
just like didn't pick that up. I was just like,
Yeah,
voices.
yeah,
Voice.
and like Kanan, the other
Voices.
characters from animated shows who were confirmed to die, like their voices are also there. So, no spoilers.
Just drop that bomb.
Next
You
step,
really
Rebels.
know.
Clone Wars first, then you all gotta watch Rebels.
Who's all gonna eat the dust between
Yeah.
what we saw and what's happening next?
I mean, if you want the true like operatic finale of the arc that is Maul, it happens at Rebels. Like you need
yeah.
it, need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm.
Plus-
Maul's name that you announced was like lured so much by Maul. Like Maul wanted her so bad,
Yes,
and she almost
she almost did.
him.
I mean, who
It's true.
can deny
would
the
have been
power of the dark side?
Yes. And Rebel sets up the villain that they keep referencing for the Ahsoka show. So
I know I am going
Yeah.
like I have. It's like reawakened my love for Star Wars, like watching them all again. It has been a minute since I've watched really any of them, so I was having fun. So this probably will be the point where I do just keep going. I will
I
not
have
watch The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker, but I will watch the animated shows.
please watch the animated shows. And
Yeah.
honestly, Bad Batch would be a fine entry because there's just a few seasons. You don't really need the backstory of Clone Wars necessarily.
If you love
Get
me at
into
all,
it.
Kate, you love me at all.
I do.
Please watch Bad Batch. It is so good.
Okay.
It's
So good.
But
It's amazing.
There
as far as story goes, I can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
I think because you hadn't seen Clone Wars before you jumped into Bad Batch, right, Karen?
No,
So
no. It's just right after 66, and
Yeah.
it just starts on not Tatooine, the clone planet.
Oh,
Camino.
Jenna. Yeah.
Camino, yes, it starts on Camino and just launches right into awesome clones doing awesome things. Because, like Lucy said, they're kind of genetically altered, so they're kind of like fucked up, and
Yeah.
that's also really fun.
That is fun.
They're like just so bizarre, and they have different voices because they're fucked up. So,
but all the same voice
Yeah.
actor.
Oh, that's
like-
fun.
Freaking amazing, that guy. I think
Okay.
he did
Yeah.
something like 100 different characters over the course of Clone Wars and Bad Batch.
Wow.
He's amazing.
That is cool. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely into it. Like, cause I want new. Like, I love Star Wars. I love it. Like the original
Bad Batch.
trilogy. Like I have watched countless times. The prequels, I saw them all in the theater. I saw Phantom Menace like 6 times in the movie theater. Like I was here for it. I was so excited.
Yeah,
Lucy
And then,
and I have all the Star Wars on grip, like in the
it's
arm
true.
grip,
Like, oh,
because
more
of all the
Star
stuff that they're producing, and we're like, so it's the dark time between Mandalorian and
Yes, exactly.
Ahsoka, like the 4 months that Disney Plus isn't mass producing Star Wars shit,
Right.
and Lucy and I are just like gargling it down.
I mean, yeah, I hope I can join you because like I do really enjoy the universe so much, and so I really do want more good content. I just the content that I have seen, like Obi-Wan, we haven't talked about Obi-Wan yet, and we were all very
Oh.
divided on Obi-Wan.
We were.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we can go ahead, like I just like
'Cause that was the other show when we were chatting about like which is the best new show. If we're just talking
Yeah.
live action, I mean, Obi-Wan isn't perfect, but neither is Mando. And honestly, they're neck and neck for me. I think Obi-Wan has higher highs so far.
Interesting.
know.
I didn't know you thought that way.
I mean, there are definite low lows.
It kind of sits pretty low for me because
Does
the
it?
fucking Leia.
oh my
The
god.
Leia,
I can't like the only episode I liked in that show was the last episode,
but it was such a high for an
Bro.
episode.
and it was like, and that's the clip I tried to send you, Kate. I'm like, this
Yes.
was so fucking well done. I don't.
I watched it.
care
I've seen that.
They made me sit through Leia bullshit.
Oh my god, dude. I want to do like a good edit of Obi-Wan because there were really good ideas. There was a lot of
Good
fluff.
things.
And there's something about, I was just watching Attack of the Clones, right? Like there's something about, they find the worst child actors, and I don't like talking shit about kids or anything, but like the little boy that plays Jango Fett's son, the worst actor I think I've ever seen. And then like this kid that they like get for Leia, it's like not, first of all, just like so unnecessary. It would have been maybe kind of cool to see baby Leia, but they made her so fucking annoying also. And I really did like to see, what is it, Alderaan? They finally show you Alderaan, which I thought
They
was
do?
really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then they make her just like the worst, just getting kidnapped all the time. And it's just like, no, my Leia is a bad bitch, okay? And she should have been a bad bitch from little baby on. Like, she's just annoying as hell. Hello, Vanish.
Seemed like a weird way to shoehorn in like a classic character and also recreate this like found father thing that Star Wars has done.
Yeah, also, hey, Obi-Wan.
many times.
Again, calling on Obi-Wan to do
Problem.
everything. Like,
Right.
who's supposed to be watching Leia? No, like, I'm watching Luke. Can y'all fucking do something? Anything? Like, I'm busy. Like,
Right.
I gotta watch this kid, and now, like,
I mean, this sounds like slander against Bail Organa, and I will fight for Bail Organa every single day. I love Bail Organa. But
But then do something.
yes, it seemed like
You have an army.
he
You're a
could have
senator.
he could have done something, had an adventure
He
without
just
having
stays
the
in
Leia
like
thing.
diplomat mode the entire time. Like that's the only way I know Organa is like diplomat whatsoever.
He
I mean,
is like
unless I'm thinking about him wrong in episode 3, but like
He's just kind of there, and he's always like presenting problems without solutions. I don't know,
he's
man.
like, "We love you, Obi. However, I can't do anything."
My
So,
my daughter
please
guy
take
does.
over.
can't do anything.
so much. And like the only piece that I liked about the piece of trash that was Andor was the Mon Mothma stuff and like her being a founding member of the rebellion, but also still needing to maintain her kind of like senator guise for the good of the rebellion. And Bail is in a very similar, it seems like, position. And in the Clone Wars, he and Padme are like the foundations of what would later become the rebellion, and he's amazing. I love him. And I love that Jimmy Smits just shows up all the time, no matter what, to be Bail Organa. That's beside the point.
Him and Liam Neeson, just the dedication.
Liam Neeson, exactly.
And I love.
King.
Got a blaster
Hated it.
hidden at all times. Yeah, because Obi-Wan uses a fucking blaster. Okay. I can't do it.
To hide
He
his,
does.
I don't care.
I
I don't
don't.
like it.
Ahsoka does that too.
Ahsoka does it too. Exactly.
I mean, I guess Luke does it too, but
It's
it's
like
just
the
like
number one calling sign of a Jedi. It's like,
Yeah.
well, display.
cheaters. Bunch of
They're in
cheaters.
hiding. He's in hiding.
Nah,
He's
dog.
got to be in hiding because
Mm-mm.
Darth has all of his
Inquisitors.
inquisitors, exactly,
Okay.
and stuff. I liked Reva against the grain until sort of like the last couple of episodes.
I
The
had
last
so many
episode.
problems with that.
Oh my god, Reva was so bad. I was expecting a Darth
Didn't
Maul.
hate
Like, I thought we were gonna get a Darth. Like, they made her look so cool in the trailer, and then she's lame as shit.
I didn't
Yeah.
think. The only thing I didn't like about her is they didn't keep her dead when Darth Vader stabbed
Oh
her.
my
Oh.
god, dude.
That would have been the best.
So anti Darth Vader.
Just
like,
right.
Yeah.
He did his job, but the fact that she didn't die. What the fuck?
Darth
Yeah.
Vader just kills
Slaughters
so many
everybody
people.
every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
He knows a killing blow.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
that would've
Leia
been a
defying
Stab
space.
stomach.
It's just dumb. Leia
It
is
would
a.
have been a good ending for her arc.
That's what I was-
like. Her revenge,
Why didn't
bringing her
he
back
kill
at the
her?
end.
Same thing with
But,
Leia.
yeah.
That's a great way for Leia to go out too. Just like that is horrible. It is like affecting, and I was like, oh shit! Like Leia gets like drifted out into space. That is a like an epic way for that character to go
No.
out. Oh yeah, way
If
better
Leia
than
had
what they
died in
did.
the void of space.
No, they would have brought her back in, but the fact that she's still alive after being sucked out into space, like, nah, dog. I'm out.
A, you haven't seen the latest Guardians. B, no, I would have been so much more upset if she just died in that like random battle mid-movie.
I don't know, man. I think that it would have been way better than her becoming a space-defying Jedi.
It would have been way too Star Trek-y, I think, if she died in space.
But
Like,
that's
that's like a Star Trek move. People getting sucked out in space and immediately dying.
Literally,
That's like
Captain
the
Kirk
Star
gets sucked out
Trek
into
way
space.
to die.
and you liked
So-
Yes,
it.
correct.
It's good for the story.
Just do something different. She shouldn't have been sucked into space and come back to life. I totally agree. I don't think that's the way she should have gone either.
If they were gonna do that, it would have been way better just to kill her. Just kill her right there.
I think it should have been, I think if the proper way for Leia to die would have been some sort of self-sacrificial thing. Because that is giving Leia. That's giving OG Leia. Like,
Yeah.
you know, risking it all to save Han from Jabba the Hutt type vibe. Like, that's a Leia I can kind of drive with, you know, because I'm not huge about Leia.
Like, forget
So-
the Laura Dern character. Have Leia do that.
Yeah, that would have been like
Yeah.
dying in battle to save her troops would have been
Yeah.
100%
That's very Leia.
General
Yeah.
Organa.
I
She
agree.
stays on
Mhm.
Hoth for the until the last minute, and the Empire Strikes
Yes.
Back. Han's like, dude, we have to go. You are going to die. Like, let's go. She's there till the last minute. It would have been
Yep.
very Leia. Like, and I just, again, I don't give a
Yes.
shit about that Laura, and I love Laura Dern, but like, I hate that. Like, what? Who is that? Am I supposed to care about her sacrificing? I don't care. It was
Yeah,
the coolest explosion
if
I think I've
Leia
ever
had done
seen,
that.
though. Like, let's just get
That
that
was
out of the
very
way.
cool.
That
That
explosion's
was
very
very,
cool.
very, 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 very cool. Jumping through light speed through an Imperial cruiser.
See, these things I
Badass.
do appreciate.
That was awesome.
He has
Yeah.
a particular set of skills. Yes, he does. The explosion is very cool, and that's the coolest part about The Last Jedi is that fucking explosion. It should just be the end of it. Like, explodes, end, the end.
I'm jumping back into Reva because the thing that New Disney is doing that I find really hard to swallow is this like campy effects that they try to pull off that they aren't pulling off, and then it leaves an awful taste in my mouth.
Yes.
And what Reva was doing in like early Kenobi was like all this parkour shit through Coruscant. Stop.
She was
Stop.
parkouring. Yeah.
Stop. Like,
Stop.
It is adding nothing but cringe effect
Yes.
to me.
Cringe.
Stop.
Because she could have been
Cringe.
so cool. And I was here for her. Like, Reva, I was like, dude, I'm here for a new badass Sith because you're letting me
Yes.
down here. You're letting me down. And at first, I thought it was going to be cool. Because, like, when they first show her in Obi-Wan, they're, like, in that cantina or whatever. And, like, that dude is, like, questioning people. And she's just walking around being very Darth Maul. And I was like, yes, don't say a fucking word. Just walk around being intimidating as shit. Like, that's all Darth Maul does. He has, like, 4 lines the whole movie. And it's always like, yes, master, or whatever. Like, it doesn't... They don't try to make
so
him...
much scarier.
Yes!
Like, I don't think she was even made to look scary enough. Like,
No.
she just looked like
But
she
she was
dressed in
just
black.
a badass. And I'm fine with that. But,
Darth
like...
Maul was scary to me
Darth
for
Maul
like
is very
my beginning Star Wars age, which was like the ripe age of 9 or something
Right.
like that.
He's
No,
still
the
the only
Baron
one that
of
looks like that,
Thorns.
too. Yeah, he's the only one that's ever looked like that, too. I mean, as far as the movies goes...
So you watch Clone Wars.
I know, I will. I swear I will. I really do want to. Like I said, like, rewatching them and, like, preparing for this, like, I am back. Like, I want to watch good fucking Star Wars, man. Like, that's where this whole debate comes from. It's just, I just want to watch good Star Wars. Because I can't even, in good faith, like I told Jane yesterday, like, if you don't watch any of them, watch the OG3. But I can't even say that anymore because of how much they've fucked with them. Like, that CGI is awful. And, like, especially Return of the Jedi. Like, that stupid Cantina song, which I don't know if you've seen since they've added it, but, like, that dumb...
In
In
Jabba's
Jabba's Palace, yes!
Yeah.
It is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And I was just like, why? And then they got rid of the Lub Dub Ewok song, and I'm just like...
They did.
What are you doing? They don't do anything to The Empire Strikes Back, by the way, because it's just a fucking masterpiece. They didn't do anything.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They don't add anything in The Empire Strikes Back. They add in, like, it's like a little much in episode 4, but, like, Return of the Jedi is egregious. And it's just like, oh, CGI is a thing. Let's just do it. And I'm just like, no, don't do it. Not
Have you
minor
seen
fixes. No, dog.
No.
Not minor fixes.
They shot that original, like, Jabba song sequence with a puppet. Have you ever seen this footage? Because it is
No.
the worst puppet that has ever been. I encourage you to look it up. You will no longer hate the CG lady with the long...
I hate the whole thing.
mouth.
Like, just what they had originally was fine. Just
Well,
why?
that singer is a character in Clone Wars, so just saying.
Uh-huh.
She has
Okay.
backstory.
But it was terrible.
And it's
And with
pretty
the
cool.
Jabbas. With
Mhm.
Jabba backstory too.
I hated it.
Exactly. The huts.
I wish you could just find, like, unadulterated original trilogy. Like, I wish they would just release both.
So they could make so much money.
I would fucking pay, like,
Yeah.
$100 for that. I would. Because I've
Yeah.
been looking. There was, at a time, there was supposedly they were going to do that, but I've never seen it, so I don't know. But, like, yeah, dude, I would legit drop money.
I want to say I've read because do you remember when they first came on streaming for Disney Plus after the big buyout?
Mm-hmm.
And in the scene where Han doesn't shoot first, they added in, like, Greedo's dying.
Oh my
gasp,
God,
and
that's
he's
another-
like, McClunky, right? I read at the time that Lucas made those changes and then was like, these are the only versions that you can have. So I don't know if
Oh
Disney is
my
even
god.
allowed to release the
That's so
originals.
dumb. Fuck you,
Oh,
George
You know
Lucas.
what?
Not.
Han shot
No,
first, god
that
damn
is
it.
that is a badass move. Go George Lucas.
Yeah.
Go off. Love it.
I mean, do you not
Love
have
it.
do you not like more money? Who doesn't like more money?
Dude owns ILM and Skywalker Sound, or did before he sold them. So like, bro has the money. He
That's
doesn't
what I'm
care.
saying.
He's just there adopting kids, being wholesome and adorable.
Fine.
We love George Lucas.
That's
We
fine.
love George Lucas, single adoptive father. Yes.
I hate it though, as far as like who cares? Like Han shot first because he's a bad motherfucker, okay? Like I don't understand. Like we're trying to make him like that. He's not a Jedi. Why do we have to make him wholesome and good? Like not everybody. It's so boring. It's just so boring. Oh, you can't make it so that he shot first. That's a bad guy. Like no, dog. Like he's defending himself against a bounty hunter. Like he's gonna shoot first. I loved that, and it's just like, yes, I bet you have. Fuck you. Like, ugh. Then they changed it. And I forgot they changed it when I watched it yesterday, and I was like, oh, I forgot. Just that nothing changes. I don't get it. I'm not into it.
Well.
But I mean, yeah, the original trilogy, I can't get past how much love I have for it. And the prequels, I like them more now that the new 3 exist, and that's just where it is. Like, I liked The Force Awakens. That's probably where I pretend it stops, because it's just like, I can't ever go back and watch The Last Jedi, and I will not watch Rise of Skywalker. I just won't do it.
I feel like you need to for posterity,
I won't
though.
do it.
As a Star Wars fan, you just gotta, watch them.
I'm not sure I could get drunk enough to like enjoy
Throw
myself.
out all the bold statements, having a very spotty.
You have both said that the Rise of Skywalker is not good. Like, why would I watch it?
It's not good. It's not good.
Exactly.
However,
Why would I watch it?
So that you know. So
Well,
you
no.
have the full.
So I know they're terrible story arcs. Like shit. It was
Also-
this bad before the writer's strike. Maybe I should see what fucking AI comes up with, man. I'm just saying, because that was terrible.
Maybe.
That's some terrible shit.
But it's like watching Attack of the Clones, arguably, right, the worst of the prequels. I think we all kind of agreed on that, maybe not. But
Yes.
like, you gotta watch it, even though you probably could skip it and still kind of catch on to what's going on. Like, you gotta have the whole
There's-
scope.
There
Especially
are
as they
redeeming
make
parts
more.
of Attack of the Clones. There's just like nothing redeemable about The Last Jedi for me. I will never watch it again. And so like I don't want to have I mean even going into
Well, like,
Rise of
okay.
Skywalker knowing this, I'm just like, nah, dog, no.
Did you watch The Hobbits?
Fuck no. I watched the first hour
You
of The
didn't
Hobbit.
watch? Okay.
Bruh, I can't do it. Like
I didn't realize
the worst.
time is far more important than the rest of us
Bruh.
in terms of watching shit movies.
Nah,
Exactly.
nah.
The dedication to a fandom ends if you don't actually watch the other things that they make, right?
You can't because they will never hold up. Even though it
Yeah,
was Peter
but-
Jackson
So, like-
that did The Hobbit, like he was obviously that's an obvious cash grab. It's terrible. That movie should have been one movie. It could have been really good, but he decides to spend like the whole first movie on the first chapter of the book. They're in that fucking house for like an hour and a half, and it's like the first chapter of the book, and it's just like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. I fell asleep.
No,
Well,
no,
Lord of the
for
Rings
sure.
is the best trilogy ever made. I don't know,
So-
man.
A lot of those people have also watched The Hobbit, right? Like you then watched it, and you can have your opinions. Like burn it down after watching it. Totally agree.
Why?
But, like,
when I
the
already have it.
fandom and like the lore was told, so it's like you like
They got it wrong.
argue like Gandalf being the most Gandalf in Gandalf ways in The Hobbit because it's his character and he knows how to do it, so he did it right. The whole turning one movie into 3 movies.
Who is this redheaded bitch? Legolas is like running around in the woods during The Hobbit too. When they bring him back for the movies, the Battle of Five Armies doesn't happen in The Hobbit. Like, none of these things happen. They fuck up the lore like they do in Star Wars. That's why I won't watch it, because it's not fucking real. It's not real.
I don't think they fucked up the lore. I don't think there was any lore to fucked up in the last 3.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
not
man.
Star Wars.
We were just like
They were going
shooting
off
from the
book. They
hip.
were doing their own thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they went too far off book.
Yeah. The Hobbit, it's a whole other layer of, because it's based on source material and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
lore.
more. I think that's far more of a travesty. When
It
you're
is.
like, it was spelled out for you, and you
You can't get it right.
chose the path of awfulness, of trash,
Yes.
hot garbage.
Of-
Trash. It's all trash. And no, I won't watch it because I know this. And I have, like, I would rather spend my very limited time on things that are good.
Well, the animated series then.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to probably do. I'm going to finish this, like, watch through of the prequels, maybe watch The Force
Love it.
Awakens and pretend that's where it stops. And that's it. And then I'll go to the animated stuff. Actually, we haven't even talked about Rogue One, which I really enjoyed Rogue One.
Yes. I love Rogue
I
One.
loved Rogue One. Kara doesn't sound
I
like...
wasn't in love. I wasn't in love with anybody in that one.
Really?
I think it was a good movie. Yeah, I just like it's one of those movies where you're like, I know how this ends, so I can't fall in love with anybody.
Yeah, Shiggy didn't like Rogue One either. We were just talking about it last night. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it. And, like, Donnie Yen, I fucking love Donnie Yen. And then they made
Yeah.
him super cool.
Yeah.
I'm
They did.
so here for that. And, like, yeah, you know how it ends, but they still made you care. And
Yeah, and I totally watched it and like was totally emotional like during the climax, like on that, tropical island, and the team that's like actually started the rebellion. That's all great. I just wasn't in love with Jin, and I wasn't in love with Cassian.
well, good thing they
And-
died. They-
Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know. I loved the droid the most.
Yeah.
K2 something. Like I loved him the most. The sassy droid.
Yeah.
I'm here for the sassy droid.
Which is very Star Wars. I mean, and, like, you have Mads
Very
Mikkelsen.
Star
Like,
Wars.
I really enjoyed Rogue One.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen should just be, and it's like, I mean, I was just like, yes, that is a great cast.
Yes.
Rogue One, I really enjoyed because I was the same way. Like when they announced Rogue One was going to be like, right before, not the Clone Wars, but like right before A New Hope, you're just like, oh well, like I kind of know how that's going to go, like because that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Like she's running away from that, like happening,
Yeah.
and so
I
you're
did like
this can't go well.
The end of Rogue One so beautifully meld with New Hope.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
so good.
Yeah.
Like the running and the passing of the message, and then like the really scary like built up anticipation of Darth Vader arriving.
Yes, it's
That
so
was
good.
excellent. So good. So
good.
so good.
Yeah,
I'm just not in love with Cassian or Jim.
not as like I still care
Yeah.
about them more than like most characters in the new ones for sure, and then like even some of them in the prequels. Like I cared more about them, maybe because I knew they were doomed from the start, so you're just kind of rooting for them anyway. You're just because you're just like going on a suicide mission.
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
automatically care about them more. I guess I don't
Right.
know.
And you didn't necessarily know, who all was gonna
Right.
die. But what I liked about Rogue One is that it was just like regular people who did something heroic, right? There wasn't a whole lot of Jedi,
Right.
like there was Vader, but like there wasn't it was just like the grassroots rebellion. And I think that's what they were trying to do with Andor, and it just failed spectacularly. with
Yeah,
I think
I
that's when
heard
they
it's
were
not
like,
good.
people love this so much, let's do Andor.
Right.
I couldn't even finish Andor. And that's
Really?
me preaching that you should watch everything for you to actually have, like, I preach you should watch everything before you have an opinion. And I could not finish Andor for the life of me. I thought it was so boring.
It's so boring. And like
So
it worked
boring.
for a 2 hour or 2.5 hour movie, knowing
Yeah.
that they're going to, do this heroic thing, even though they're not really heroic characters. They're kind of shitty people, gray morally or whatever. But then it wrapped up and like they couldn't do anymore and it was fine. And then to go back in Andor and just be like, let's show you this like long slog of these people.
So when does
who
Andor happen? Like in relation?
happens So it's like Cassian Andor's character's introduction to the rebellion, and so in
So
Rogue One,
like
he's
3,
like,
yeah.
yeah, several years before. I don't know if they gave an actual date. I did finish it, but I wasn't happy about it.
No.
I didn't hear good things. I think from y'all probably, or I think
Yeah.
Rob didn't like it
Yeah,
either. Like
he
I
did
just
not
haven't
like
heard
it.
nobody
And
has
Rob's
said
like,
it's good.
it's one of my favorites. And I'm like,
Oh, he liked it.
Antichrist!
Exactly. It's just like
Psycho.
there were no
Psycho.
like aliens. There were like everybody was just a regular human-looking person. It was just not. It didn't feel like Star Wars. And then it had like the second half, which was like set in a prison, had some interesting things to say about like the institution of prison and like the privatization of prison. That's fine. But it was also like 6 episodes.
Were there
of
any
it.
annoying child actors in it?
No.
Okay.
Yes, there was young Andor and like
see,
his
there's always
weird,
one.
Oh,
his
yeah.
weird backstory as like a person living in the woods. Like it was a very strange.
They're just hell bent on like they're
Way.
just like, who has a kid? All right, come here. Like
Exactly.
they're just
Yeah.
hell bent on finding the
There were-
worst child actors.
Yeah.
Did
And
his
it was,
like
like-
past ever amount to anything? Like besides
'cause
like running across someone he knew?
No, and then there was like the woman who rescued him, who was Mrs. Weasley, Fiona Shaw, Mrs. Weasley, Mrs. Dursley, Fiona Shaw, I believe her name is. Anyway, from Harry Potter, and
Correct.
like that had some resonance at like the mid-season, but then it just
If anybody got that far, it doesn't sound like.
I did
It-
not.
it was just like this. They were stretching like a 2-hour concept over 12
I
1-hour
can't
episodes.
do that, man. Like I know
No.
I hear what you're saying, Kara, and I agree with you. Like part of me agrees with you, then the other part of me is just like, dude, I can't fucking do that. There's not enough alcohol in the world to get me to watch like things that I know are gonna be bad.
For the movie, though,
I know
like,
what
that's just
happens.
a one
Movies
movie
are so much
experience.
less of a time commitment
Yes,
than like
exactly,
watching
and
a
then
shit
it's-
show.
For 12 weeks.
And then like Obi-Wan, that's the thing that I really tried. I really tried with Obi-Wan. I really wanted to like it.
Apparently, they've announced a season 2 or said that they're all in for
They
a season
have?
2.
I didn't even know that.
Maybe I'm just
God.
thinking of Ewan McGregor saying he would do a season 2.
Oh God. Oh, say so. I can't even get past.
There's a lot of
season 1.
content.
I just
I
you
can't
know
keep it all straight.
one day I am just going to edit all of the episodes of Obi-Wan into what it could have been, because it could have been a really good show.
I think that exists. I think the fan edit exists.
On a serious note, if you need a spot for someone
Curious
new.
how Lucy would the live action stuff.
Ooh.
Wait, say that
How
again?
would you rank? Sorry. We rank the live action shows, like
live
from
action shows.
best to worst.
Valid question.
Because I think
It's true.
I thought we were in line, but now I don't know if we're in line.
I don't know either. I mean, I gotta
I'll
put
go
Andor.
first.
Okay, you go first,
I'll go
and I'm
first.
gonna go in reverse order from worst to best because I don't
Okay.
know what I'm gonna say for best.
I'm gonna go from top to bottom. Top
Okay.
to low. Top. Mandalorian. Duh.
Duh.
Second
Duh.
to top. He's more down here. Is Kenobi. And then both equal to the bottom. Book of Boba Fett, garbage, and then Andor.
Oh, you okay? I was about to say like
We
you.
didn't even talk about Book of Boba Fett, which was the hot
Because
trash.
why
that was
would
that
we?
show.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like it's.
And I
Book of
I
Boba
feel
Fett
so
was such a letdown.
bad. And it could have been good.
It could have been
Like-
good.
And with the original actor of Boba Fett,
Yes,
Ugh.
who was great.
So much-
See,
when
I
he
love
showed up
Boba
in
Fett.
Mando.
episode 1, we're what? And then okay, my biggest complaint, if we're gonna briefly talk about the show, my biggest complaint, they made Boba Fett good.
No.
Yes, exactly.
Why is Boba Fett good?
It
Boba
doesn't
Fett
make
is
Why
bad.
does everybody have to be
Yes.
good? This is my problem. Like everybody has to be this white knight Jedi motherfucker, and it's just like, no, that is boring. Not everybody has to
It's
be
boring.
good to like. I know they're like, oh, it's like gearing towards kids or whatever, and it's just like, yeah, kids need to learn that like not everybody's good. Like,
Yeah, I think this is honestly the Disney effect. I
Yes.
think this is how it is.
Yeah.
impacted Star
Should've
Wars
had
in the
us there.
most obvious way. They made Boba Fett good. They didn't make him.
He's a fucking bounty hunter.
Yes, exactly. He should
Hello?
have been more
He's a
like Mando in
mercenary.
Mando season 1.
Oh
Right.
my
And they just
God.
made it ridiculous, and the practical effects were not invested enough in that show.
No.
Like,
You're Disney, bro. Like, there's
The
just no
fucking-
excuse for that. Right,
the
exactly,
girl-
Sin. Exactly. He's a crime lord. He's a fucking
Power
bad guy.
Yes, the Power Ranger scooters.
kids.
Bang, 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 click, click, reload, bang. Like that
Yes.
was so
Right.
bad.
I think we all do
So
because
bad. And I loved, as a kid, you know, like, I was a kid when the prequels came out, and I still loved Boba Fett in episode 2. Like, as he's trying to help the assassinate freaking Amidala.
they could have gone into that so hard.
I still loved him. I still thought
That's
he was
Django
cool.
too.
You
That's
know,
like pre Boba
Yeah.
Fett.
Right.
You're right. That's Django.
But it's
Even
they're
then.
basically-
But the like same, yeah, like they're all this
Pretty much.
right. Like the Mandalorians, like they're just all mercs. That's the fucking
Yep.
point. That's like all they're the bred for. So like Boba
That's why I love
Fett,
them.
yeah, they're fucking cool. That's why. And like I just the Disney effect is real and it's stupid. Yeah, Vanish.
is.
Like I want a dark, gritty villain show. That's what Obi-Wan should have been. Like it should have been this like dark, gritty thing. They were setting up like a whole new Sith thing. Like it's terrible,
Yeah.
garbage, hot
That was
garbage.
my complaint about Kenobi 2, was that I want to see Darth being Darth. Like, I
Yes.
want to see Darth Vader being Darth Vader, because, you know, we watched Darth Vader die in the originals, and then you watch the creation of Darth Vader in the prequels. But
Yeah.
I want Darth. You
I
know,
want to watch Darth
Right,
popping
all day.
off like he does in A New Hope,
Yes.
just killing everybody that pisses him off.
Yes.
Like, yes, give me my Darth Vader. I need it. Like that's the whole. That makes it like the redemption so much better for like Obi-Wan even. Like that make like Obi-Wan's gonna come prevail. Whatever. Like that just makes it more vindicative. And I think that's
Maybe
the point.
season 2 of Kenobi will maybe season 2 Kenobi will show us that, because I guess season 1 is this whole build up of Kenobi finally figuring it out.
Can't wait for the Jabba the Hutt
Yeah.
good guy turn.
That
Like,
Anakin's
I know.
gone. Anakin's gone. That whole
Yeah.
like that was the whole season 1. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the only reason why I like. That's why the last episode is the only episode I like of that show.
I
it
tried
was
to get
definitely
there,
the
man.
best one. I did like the first. There was like episode 2 or 3. They also fought, and Obi-Wan like had to limp away.
Yeah.
That was also good.
Okay.
that was
but
also good.
That fight scene could have killed him. Like the whole stream of fire in the
Yes!
two of them.
I couldn't do it.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Neither of you can jump over it. You
Right.
can't.
Oh my God. I
We
was saying.
did jump around lava for a whole movie, but
Oh my
we
God.
can't jump through fire.
Well, it made
And
sense to me that Vader wouldn't want to because he's all traumatized from being like whole body burned.
True. I guess that's true.
Ah.
I'm getting the vibe of like Joker Batman energy, where it's like
Yeah.
one doesn't really want to live without the other. Like, I can put you away, but I don't really want to because you're my whole purpose
Mhm.
type energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it's giving, and if that's what we're running with, fine. But I want Darth just shooting and looting, as I would say. Killing
Yeah,
and
the best-
Exactly. That's what he does.
Yep.
Yeah. The best Darth moment was in Rogue One, where he like went through the whole ship
Yeah.
and just destroyed everyone. More of
Exactly.
that,
Right.
Darth.
Vanish. Yeah. Like the evil presence
Yeah.
he gives off at the end of Rogue One is my Darth.
Yeah, like they're so fucking afraid of him, and I'm like,
Because he's
the
a
best
bad
part, like,
bitch.
yes!
That's the best Darth.
He's so
100%
good.
that's
And
the
that's
best
like, right. Like, okay, make your bad guy bad so that we fucking hate him and like, or, love him because that is it. And I find villains way more
Exactly.
interesting because of that. Like, and it makes
And if you
his
make
arc
the
better.
Bad guys bad. You make the good people. You like the good people more, right?
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
If the villain is so villainy, you're then like with the good guys.
He blew up a
bit
whole
more.
ass planet just because he could.
He blew up Leia's planet.
Yeah, he blew up
He did.
Leia's
Daughter's
daughter's
planet.
planet. He knew it. He knows it's his daughter's planet. That is fucked up.
Does he?
Yeah.
No,
See,
I don't think he does.
I don't think
Really?
he knows. He's not. He gives no indication that he knows Leia is his
which
daughter
is
ever.
But he
a
knows Luke
problem.
is,
Which is
so
okay,
It is a
okay,
problem.
okay. Leia having the Force causes so many more problems than good. And if
uh,
Leia had the Force, Darth Vader would have known that she existed way earlier than how
which
he
is what
does in
they're
the plot,
trying to
right?
establish in Obi-Wan. Because they're trying
Yes,
to
he
fill these
should have
plot
known.
holes. Because you're right, like it's a problem, but they've introduced that from the get-go, so they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He would have known that Leia and Luke existed way before he actually does if Leia had the Force. If Leia had the Force, he would have known so much earlier. And that would have screwed up all of.
Yeah,
That does not make sense. It doesn't even super make sense if she doesn't have the Force, because he should be able to sense it, right?
because
Like
he knows that
sense,
Luke is, and they never have that
right.
conversation.
So like that's always been a little bit of a
I mean, he's been trying, like,
moment.
from the get-go, like, from the beginning of A New Hope, he's trying to catch Leia. So it's just like, is he trying to catch her just because she's the leader of the Rebel Alliance, or like
I
one of
think
them,
so.
or is it
I
because
think so.
like he knows? They don't ever talk about it because they like you're not supposed to know until like Return of the Jedi or whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
I think she's like such a thorn in his side that
If
he's
he
trying to
has
get
the
her.
plans and he knows that the plans are on her
he
ship
just has like
because he
tunnel
saw it,
vision.
he
Yeah.
saw it in Rogue One flying away. So he's after the plans, and he knows from his association with Bail Organa that his daughter probably with the rebels. So there's lots happening.
And maybe, yeah, maybe he just has the tunnel vision. But he has the Force, like it's just there. Like he would just feel it, you know, like as if theory
You would
is to
think,
be in
'cause
theory, like that
in theory,
it's just there.
he could sense Padme and stuff. So
No,
But you can
how
cut
could we
yourself
forget?
off from the
that's
Force
true.
to like stay
That's true.
hidden.
Like she didn't know,
But
so maybe that's part of it. Like she doesn't really know she has it until Bespin, I
she just
guess. Like
had it
she,
this way.
Yeah.
like maybe she had this like, oh weird, like I can like hear voices sometimes. I mean, but they don't ever really go into how much she has
No.
the Force, you know, like we like, you know, it's like when Luke is in that really anxiety inducing moment just like hanging outside of Cloud City, you're just like how is he supposed to get out of that? Oh shit, like she's got
Yeah.
the
And then
Force
she
too.
says it. Yeah, exactly.
But then
Problems.
you're like, oh, like it's just like they're really close together at that point too, so maybe it's like how close you are, like in proximity to each other. She doesn't even know she has it until that point, I guess. I'm not sure. That's what I assumed, like she maybe had like an inkling, but like it's really when Luke reaches out to her in that moment that she's like, oh
Right.
shit. Hey. But she never becomes a Jedi. So I don't
I
know.
think
She
she
could.
did in some of the books that are no longer canon, but
Yeah.
it's just again, she doesn't get enough like actual protagonist screen time to answer any of these questions.
Right, like they just like, oh, she's got it. Oh, she can defy space because she's a Jedi, and
You
it's
can
just like,
devise ways.
no other Jedi can
Oh.
do that. Like, it's just like, wow, she's like either the most powerful Jedi that's ever like more powerful than Yoda, because she can defy space, bitch. Like, I can't get there. I can't get there, man. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I really can't do it, and that moment made me almost walk out of that theater, man. It just did. Couldn't do it. Jabba the Hutt good guy turn. I know, man. Like that's just what they're gonna do. It's dumb. It's so dumb. Okay.
I wonder if
Well,
they're. I wonder if the new, like, they've announced that they're going to do more movies post Daisy Ridley.
oh yeah, and they've
Yes.
replaced Ray now or something. I saw like they're replacing her.
No, she's gonna be
She's
back.
still doing it.
Maybe her movie's called The Acolyte. There's definitely one that's called The Acolyte, and definitely one that's set before times.
I
But
thought I
yeah,
saw something where
she's
she's
doing
being
it
replaced.
10 years on. No, it's like she has her new Jedi school, is what I read, or something.
And what I'm trying to hope for is that with what Disney is kind of doing recently, like they're allowing the F word now, and their villains are getting villainy for the fact
Mm.
for the evil for being evil
Yes.
in a lighter sense. Like we're I think we're turning more mature. I'm hoping. This is all,
Is it all based on Guardians 3?
yes, yes, that I'm hoping we can turn more into a mature, another movie to be actually rough in terms of Disney.
I don't know.
That's me just wishing. But
I mean,
after
so.
Guardians 3, we could go there. They might go there. I don't know.
They went places I was not expecting. So
Yeah.
I have not watched any
no
beyond one,
spoilers.
so
Yes, that is not your fandom. But
Yeah.
suffice to say, I am haunted by several visuals in Guardians 3, despite the fact that I love horror movies and horror games.
Yeah.
So,
interesting.
Yeah, and they're like shockingly, they're giving directors like their creative freedom when it comes to which especially in Marvel. Like I'm thinking Marvel like Taika Waititi movies and stuff like that. Like he's totally doing it the way he wants to do it, and I think the way that they're giving creative freedom to directors is helping them immensely.
Didn't help with Last
So-
Jedi. Just saying.
I think they didn't give them enough creative freedom, and also they started with
gave them too much.
J.J. Abrams garbage.
Oh, listen, I don't like any of it really. Like ugh.
Hey, all I know is that J.J. Abrams ruined the two biggest science fiction franchises that
Fair,
ever existed.
fair enough.
And
yeah,
he
Disney Abrams
used
Star Trek was.
It was an
so
insult.
Terrible.
It was so clearly his audition to be a Star Wars director, and it's just like, how dare you?
Well, he got it.
How dare you? He did, and then what did he do with it? He just remade what we already had.
I'm so done. I know,
Yes,
like
thank you, Kara. They're the worst.
the worst.
Yes.
Not into it. I mean, yeah, again, like it made me like the prequels more than like, and like I was just like, wow, okay, well now I really can't talk shit about the prequels because nothing can be as bad as what I just witnessed. It's not good, and it could have been. That's like the fucking TLDR of new Star Wars. It's not good, and it could have been.
Yeah.
End of stream. We're done.
Just pretty much.
It's it.
Round
Pretty
it
much.
out.
Yeah, like the TLDR of this whole stream, you guys, because we're nearing
I
2
would-
hours. It's like
We are.
John Favreau and Dave Filoni, they're doing it really well.
They're
I think
doing
they're doing
so
it really,
well.
really well. Like
John
the pieces
Favreau,
that
yeah.
Stop control of, so good, so good. We're
So
bringing
good.
the Muppets back. Muppets.
Yes,
We're bringing the Muppets
he
back.
understands. Like John
Yes.
Favreau, his movies, like in the like I remember when Iron Man came out, like he started the whole
Yeah.
thing. Okay, like I really liked the first Iron Man, and it's because John Favreau knows how to make a good fucking movie. And he
He did the
understands
second one,
these
too.
fandoms. Like he
He did.
understands the fandoms from a personal level, so he brings that to his filmmaking, which makes a difference.
Mhm. And he's not a one-shot chump,
Right.
which I'm not saying that Lucas is, but but
He's the ideas man.
Yeah,
Like
he is.
world building.
like
Yes.
Yes.
he will recreate a scene multiple times to, emit the best result, which you can totally tell in Mando, and you can see that in early John, which is Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2.
Yeah. You can
Which
tell that he
is
cares.
my favorite hero of all time. So
That's true.
we don't need to dive into Marvel, but
And we don't need to bring up John Favreau's Jungle Book, which was an
We won't
affront.
talk about that. We won't talk about that because the
And
1994
from-
version is the only fucking live action Jungle Book that anyone needs in their whole lives.
Jason
I totally
Scott
forgot
Lee's
about that.
mercy.
Jason Scott.
Yeah, we forget about it.
Oh, Lee.
I
We
do.
forget
I
about
blocked it
the
out of my
Favreau one.
It's not good.
because it's terrible.
That's kind of how I feel about, if we're talking about directors, Guy Ritchie, who I was talking to Lucy about.
You were.
Love Guy Ritchie. I totally forgot Guy Ritchie directed the live-action Aladdin.
He did?
Oh, that
Ridiculous.
The Will
awful.
Smith garbage?
Was,
I didn't know that was Guy Ritchie. Like, Snatch was my
I know.
favorite movie for, like, all of high school. I fucking loved Snatch.
I'm also blocking that out of my mind. We don't need to talk. I always
That's a
feel-
whole other.
Yeah.
Wait, Snatch? We don't like Snatch?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about, like, in terms of, like, blocking specific
Oh.
movies by directors out of your mind, that is also one of them.
That's fair because
Like,
it was.
I forgot
terrible.
John did the Jump Book, and
Yeah.
that was awful. And Guy did Aladdin, which was also awful.
Also
Didn't watch.
awful.
Aladdin, but did not know it was Guy Ritchie, and that's really sad. I'm ready for him to make a good movie. He's working on one right now with like a pretty stacked cast, and I was like, I need good Guy
Oh,
Ritchie.
yes.
The Jason
that
Statham
one's
one.
called-
Yeah, Gentleman
Yes,
or something. Something
So
Gentleman.
he did The Gentleman, which I loved.
I didn't
I
see
love
it.
The
I
Gentleman.
thought it was coming out.
So good. It had Charlie Hunnam, Hugh Grant, Matthew McConaughey.
It was really
That's
good.
what I was
Dude,
thinking
it
of.
was so good.
I guess
it was
that's-
so good. It was on.
It's already out? I thought he was like working on it.
It came out. No,
No.
that The Gentleman came out
Like
years
last
ago.
year.
Oh.
Yeah.
He is making another one with he has Hugh Grant in it again, and
Hugh Grant and
it's
Guy
like
Ritchie.
I think it's called Fortune something,
Huh.
but it's kind of like Casino Royale, James Bond heisty energy.
I'm here for that.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm here for
And-
like really good Guy Ritchie because like Snatch is one of the best heist movies ever made.
Yeah,
It's
he just did The
iconic.
Covenant,
Yeah,
which was a war movie, which was
Right?
also great. I'm a war movie girl
I
I
can't do it
do.
anymore.
all the time. It's
We're-
totally fine because there are awful war movies. Like
There
if
are awful
Michael
ones.
Bay gets a hold of a war movie, save yourself.
Oh
Save
God.
yourself. It's
No,
miserable.
I don't really. Michael Bay has, I don't know, man. Like he made The Rock, and that was the last good movie that dude's ever made. Maybe Pearl Harbor. I don't know.
Maybe Pearl Harbor. That was a good. I
it
actually
good?
like that.
I watched that
Are we
a
remembering
lot.
that as good?
I just really loved Josh Hartnett,
so.
and I watched that movie so many times.
Nothing really like-
But
It's
I
one where it picks up after.
Yeah, The Rock is one of
We
the
had-
best action movies ever made.
I don't know. You might need to do a Michael Bay brunch show because wow.
Yeah.
I
We could do a J.J. Abrams one too.
I have
just-
no, no.
Did he direct
Nothing but hate.
Tenet?
What?
Did he direct Tenet?
No, that was Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, which I still haven't seen Tenet. I
Oh,
need
tell me
to,
about
and he's
that
already
movie.
come. Yeah. I heard
All
it
good
was-
ideas for future brunch shows, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to. I know I'm really behind on new movies. I'm trying to be better, but like I'm such a bad rewatcher of things. I really am. I'm trying to be better
You must-
though.
You know, we live in content overload, so
We really
It's no
do.
shame.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to be better. I'm trying to have at least one show in my rotation that I haven't seen. Like I just finished the new His Dark Materials season, which would rounded out the series. It's so good. If you want a good reality or not reality, fantasy.
yes, let's put it out there that it's a reality
A
show.
reality
You're like,
show,
you
His
know
Dark
that
Materials.
Real life.
Yeah, exactly.
It made me want to reread the books, so I bought them because I haven't read them in a really long time. So it was really good. They do really cool things visually too. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is not Star Wars. Is there anything
not.
in the last
We have-
4 minutes that y'all would like to cover that we have not? And I think we should do another brunch show once I have seen more of the animated
Yes,
shows.
please.
We could
And
do.
Kara will finish. Yes.
Yes. We could do like 8 hours of the animated show because they
There's
go
so
through
much.
so much time
Yeah.
and so many characters. Oh my gosh.
And I need time to
And-
watch the Clone Wars alone. It's so much.
It will go so much faster than you think, though.
Oh, I'm
Like,
sure. It's just like a lot to get through. So like,
They're
well,
like 20-minute episodes.
yeah, I definitely, and I've seen like parts. I've never like sat down and watched it, but it's always like I remember it being on before things that I do watch. So I have seen like some of it, but I've never like actually sat down to watch the Clone Wars. So I'm excited, especially if there is a bunch of Maul, because we need more Maul.
We could do, yeah, just
Maul's brother.
I know.
Yep.
I'm going
Maul's whole
to.
planet.
Yeah.
Like,
We get to go to his
you
planet.
will
Like
love them.
I'm so here for
you
it.
will love that planet so much.
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, we could just go around in circles. It's just
Yes,
new
exactly.
new
We know,
content is like it could be so good, and it's just not. And that's just where I think we all agree there. Yeah.
we do. And we agree that we should come back together once y'all have finished the animated shows, or at least
Yes.
Clone Wars.
Yes.
And we will discuss again because you're going to embark on the best of Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean,
But I
like
say that unironically.
I think we did a pretty
I-
good job covering the movies. So maybe next time
Yeah.
is show based. We did talk
Love
a
that.
little bit about some shows, but I don't know enough about them really.
You will.
I will.